So can you see the screen? So let's try to solve this question. This question was from the last lecture, and then we can move on. Okay, so what do you think is going to be the output of the following codes? So what about the first one? What about this? What will be the output of this code? So look at this. I is 1. Is this true or false? This is true. So we go inside the while loop. Now, is this true or false? Yeah, because I is 1. 1 remainder 2 is not 0. So this is false. So will we go here or not? Do we go inside the if or not? Do we enter the if or do we exit the if? No, yes. So what we do? Then where do we go? So where do we go then? Yeah, we go back to the while. Now, what is I? What is the value of I? I is again 1. So what will so what will be the output? I is again 1. It's an infinite loop. No, it's an infinite while loop. Okay, because this is always true, so you're always inside the loop. Yes, repeater. Okay, look at this. What's the value of I? I is 1. So is this true or false? This is true. Okay, so you enter the while loop. So when you enter the while loop, you see an if. Is this true or false? This is false. So you don't enter here. You go back to the while loop. Okay, now again, what is I? I is again 1, which is less than 10, which is again true. So you go again into the while loop. Again, it's false. You come back and you do like this. You never exit the while loop. Okay, now look at this one. I is 1. This is true. We enter. Is this true or false? Is false. So we don't print here, but we do. What we do after that? If this is false, where do we go? We go down and we increment the I, and I becomes 2 now, and then we go back to while. Now I is 2. Okay, now I is 2. So now is this true or false? Yeah, this is true now. So we print 2. Once we print 2, where do we go? Once we print 2, where do we go? Once we print 2, where do we go? We go down. I was 2. Now that comes. Now I becomes 3. So I is 3 now. Is this true or false statement? This is now a false statement. So do we print? No. We go down. And here I becomes 4. We go up. I is now 4. Is this true or false? This is now true. So we print I. And the I is 4. Okay. So when do we stop? We stop when I becomes 9. And I is 10. When I is 10, is this true or false? This is false because 10 is equal to 10. So the output is going to be that this is output. Actually, the output is not this. Output is this. Okay. Is this? By the way, what will happen here? Take 30 seconds and see what is going to be the output for this code. When you say nothing, what do you mean by nothing? Yes, Badr and Abdullah are right. It's an infinite loop. It's an infinite loop. Again, it's an infinite loop. Because look at this. When I is 1, this is true or false? This is true. Then you go here. Is this true or false? This is false. So we never go here. From here, we go back to the while, and then back to if, back to while, back to if, back to while. We never get here. Because when I is 1, this is false. So we never enter here. It's also an infinite loop. Infinite while loop. That's the right answer. Okay, question? Okay. So you can do this thing yourself. It's not a difficult code to understand. So I suggest you guys to go through this example, this question yourself. Okay. Now let's see. So now we're gonna start the for loop. So we have 2 types of loop. One is while loop and another is for loop. Okay. We already have done the while loop. Now we'll do the for loop. So let's see what the for loop looks like. This is the structure for the while loop, and this is the structure for the for loop. This is how we write the for loop. We start for the for keyword and then I in range. By the way, what is this function going to output me? What is the output of this function? It will output me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And what is going to be the output for this? Is going to be 1, 2, and 3 only. And if I say range 1, 10, 2, let's see on the Python actually. Okay, let's see. Range 1 to 10. Oh, sorry. Print range 1 to 10. This. Oh, okay. Yes. Yeah, we cannot do it like this. We have to use it in the for loop. Yes, you cannot do this. Okay. So what happens is, let's go step by step and try to understand it. Okay, so we are going to give the initial value, let's say 1, and the end value, let's say 5. And let's say what happens is the I will first take a value of 1, do everything, go back here, and then I becomes 2, do everything, go back here, I becomes 3, and do everything and go back here, I becomes 4, and do everything, go back here, and it is the end is 5. If the end is 5, we stop at one less than 5. So when the 4, we stop and then we exit. Okay, so let's see using this example. So look at this. Here we are doing a for loop. So we are saying for v in the range 4 to 8, print the v. So what will happen now? V is going to take a value from 4 till 7, one less than this. Okay, so when v is 4, we say print v, we get 4. We go back here and then we increment this. V gets a value of 5, we say print v, we get 5 here. Then v gets a value of 6, we say print v is 6, so print here. And then v gets a value of 7, and then we say print v, we get a 7 here. Okay, now if I use this command, range 392, is called a step. Here there is no third argument. The step is by default 1. Now if I make a step to 2, the value, this thing is now 3, 4, a step of 2, 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We don't stop. So now let's make it a step of 2 now. So one step, second step. So this is my output. One step, second step. This is my one step. Well, we have to stop one before it. So that's it. So the answer is going to be this result into 3, 5, and 7. Okay, do you understand that? Okay, now let me do one example. Look at this. One more interesting thing. Now here the step size is -1. So we are starting from 5, finishing at 1. So 5, 4, 3, 2. Yeah, we stop just before it. We don't stop here. We stop before it. Okay, so this is it. And then we have -1 step. So we're going back. Actually, yeah. So we're going back. Look at this. We're going back. Now let me ask you guys, what will happen to this command? 10, 0, -3. We have 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So let me make it 2 here. So we stop at 3 now. So what is going to be the output? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So the output will be 10, 7, and 4. Okay. So the for loop is very straightforward. You just have to remember the syntax of it. This is the syntax of it. I in range. Okay. So now we have something called nested loop. Nested loop is just like a loop inside another loop. So you can have a for loop inside while loop, a while loop inside for loop, and for loop inside a for loop, and a while loop inside a while loop. Okay, is this clear? Now we'll do one example. We do few examples for nested loops. We will do few examples for the nested loop. So that's the first example. That's a very famous example. You know, whenever somebody teaches a course on programming, they always do something like this. Now, what is example? Example is, I want you to write a code which outputs me this thing. I need this output. I need this output. So write a code. So look at this. For the first line, we have 1 star. For line number 2, we have 2 stars. For line number 3, we have 3 stars. For line number 4, we have 4 stars. For line number 5, we have 5 stars. So we need to write a code which does that. So how many lines do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now look at this. So this is the code for this. Okay. So I'm going to use, look at this. We have a for loop inside a for loop. So we have nested loop here. Okay. So let's see how it works. So for I in the range of 1 to 6. So for the first iteration, what is going to be the value of I? I will be 1. Okay. Now when I is 1, we go to the next line. For j in the range I. Now what is this? By the way, if I say range 5, it means 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. If I say range 2, it means 1 and 2. Okay. Is it clear? Okay. So at the start of the for loop, this for loop, I will take a value of 1. So now this loop becomes what? For j in range 1. Now how many values can j take? J can take a value 1. That's it. And then we say what? We say print star. So we say print star and then space, a space here. We don't see a space. And then what? Then we exit the for loop. We go down. Now this is a part of this for loop. Okay, so there's nothing to print, so we go back up. Now I becomes 2. Yes, what do we have here? For j in range 2, Now J will first. Now this loop will run twice. Why? Because J will take a value of 1 first and then print this star, and then it go backs up, and then J becomes 2 and it prints another star, and there is space here, this space here, and then it go backs up. There is no J can only J has 1 and 2 values only, then it moves down. What is this? This is an empty line. So we say end of line, and then we go back up here. Now what is the value of I? I is now 3. Now I is 3. What will happen now? Now J will go from 1, 2, and 3. So when J is 1, we go down, we print 1 star, we go back up. Now J is 2, we do another, we go again, go down, execute this command, go back up. Now J becomes 3, we again go down, execute this command, and then that's it. There is no J value 4. So we come out of the for loop. We print the end of line, we go back up, and this is how we get this output. So I'm gonna clear this screen and give you guys 30-40 seconds to think about it and ask me any question. This is a very important code, by the way. You will see this thing like that in every book in a different form or something like this in every book. This is so important. Okay, guys, any question from this? Okay, now tell me what is the output of the following code. Now here we have a while loop nested in for loop. A while loop nested in a for loop. Question is, what is going to be the output of the following code? So take around 1 minute, think, and then we can discuss about it. So guys, what do you think? Anyone who wants to give it a try? Don't worry about being right or wrong, just give it a try. Turn on a microphone and talk to me. 2, 3, 4, 5. No, this is not okay. Who is this? This is we have 2 people here. We have Badar. Okay, Badar. Yes, please, Badar. Turn on your microphone and let's see what. Yes. Okay, I will be 1, and then J will be 0. Okay, so now we are here. Okay, and here the value of I is 1 and J is 0. Perfect. Yes, because 0. Okay. So this is true. Okay, 0 and space. We don't see the space, so let's just put like this. Okay. So if okay, and what? So at this point, what is the J? Okay. Now what will happen after? Perfect. Now after that, no, we don't exit the while loop. We do not exit the while loop until this is false. So we go up to the while loop. So now this is false. Now we go here. We go to here, and then we go back up. Okay. So now we are at this stage, and the I is now 2, and J is 0. Yes. But now we are overriding. We are saying whatever the value of J is, now it should become 0. Okay, so let's see. So now J is 0 and I is 2. So J is 0 and I is 2. It is true or false? No, 0 is less than 2. So what will happen? Now what is J? Okay, and then put a space, and then do what? Okay, and then where do we go now? We go back to the while loop. Now J is 1. Is it true or false? So we go inside. We do what? We print J. We print 1 in this line. Okay, remember that. Yes. So where do we go now? We go back to the while loop. We do not exit the while loop unless it's false. Now J is 2. Now it's false. So where do we go? We go out of the while loop, out of while and into the for. So we go back up here now. Now what becomes I? Hello. Yeah, I becomes 3 now. And what is J now? J was 2, but now becomes 0. Yes. So now what will happen here? So J is 0 and I is 3. So what do? We print J. We put a space, and then we increment J. J was 0, it becomes 1. Now J is 1 here. We go back up. Now J is 1. This is again true because 1 is less than 3. We print J, add a space, come back down. Now J becomes 2. We go back up into while. Now J is 2. This is again true. So we print J. J is 2. We go down. J becomes 3. Again go up. Now this is false. So we exit the while, go into the for. Now I becomes 4. And as we move on, this is going to be the output, and so on and so forth. Okay, so there's no new line here. Sorry guys, there's no new line here. Why there's no new line? Oh, sorry. There is no new line. I'm sorry about that. There is no new line because there is no print here. So all of this will be in the one line. We'll have 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 3. 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay? So this is all in one line. Sorry about that. Because I just thought that the print here. There's no print here. If there was a print here, then this will be the output. Yes, Badar, you're right. So who was the guy who was talking to me? Badar Abdullah. Okay, let's see. Where is Badar? Badar Abdullah. Is this the one? Okay. Today is lecture number 13, I think. 13 or 12? This is 13 lecture, yes. Okay. So now what about this? Look at this. Here we have while nested in a for. And now in this example, we have for nested in a while. So again, take around 1 minute. Try to understand this code and then turn on microphone and talk to me. By the way, good effort, brother. Very good effort. Okay, guys, who is going to turn on the microphone and tell me what is going on this code? So, guys, who's going to turn on the microphone and tell me what's going on this code? Okay, let's see. We have someone here. So, hey, do we have anyone else?
Assalamu alaikum, Doctor.
Waalaikum. Who is this?
Sohaib.
Okay, so hey, so yes, you can start.
So, first of all, it said the variable I and it
Yes.
equals 1.
Okay, so I is 1. Okay,
Yes.
perfect.
And then we went to the while loop and it says that I is smaller or equal to 5. So 1 is.
Yeah, we're not saying, we are checking it out.
Okay.
Checking if
And
I
that's true.
is less than or equal to 5. And that's true. Perfect. So we enter the while loop.
Yes.
Okay, this is all a while loop. This is all while loop. Okay, this is all the body of while loop. And inside the while loop, let me tell you one more thing, then you can continue. This is the body of for loop. Okay.
Okay.
So now you can start. So this is true.
Yes. Then he set another value and number equals 1. And then we go into the for loop.
Yes.
So j in range
1, 2,
1 and I plus 1. So it's 1
and
plus
I
1, which is 2.
no 1. I is
I is 1, and I said 1 plus 1 equals 2.
oh, perfect. Yeah. Okay. So how many values a j can take?
2 or
No.
1. Sorry.
Yeah, j 1, 2 is going to be only 1.
Okay. So
range 1, 2, 3.
Right?
1, 2. Sorry.
It cancels out the end of the range, right?
Yeah. It stops 1 before it.
Okay.
Look at this. 1 before it. Okay.
Okay.
So now how many values can a j have?
1.
So the for loop will run only one time.
Yes.
When with j equals to 1, that's it.
Yes.
Okay. So what do we do?
We go to
after that?
Print.
Okay.
So it prints out 1g
And g and
then it goes to and then num becomes 3 because you're
at
adding.
this point num is 3.
Yes.
And then is there any more value for j? No.
No, false.
So we go outside the for loop.
Yes. And it creates another line.
Yeah, that's great. Now we are in the next line.
Yes.
Perfect. So now we are in the next line. We are in the next line now. Okay.
So I
And
then becomes 2.
So now I becomes 2.
Yes.
So what do we do after that?
We go back to the while loop.
Yes. So I is 2 now.
Yes. And that's true.
Is it true?
Yes.
True. Okay.
And then num becomes 3. Or did we go out of
num becomes?
Is num still 1 or do we?
No, the num was 3, but now the num is 1. It's
okay.
Now we are saying that whatever the value of num was, ignore it and make it 1.
Okay.
Okay.
So num is 1. Then we go into the for loop again.
Yes.
So no.
Yes.
So it's 1.
I is
2 plus 1.
3.
Which is 3.
So how many values a j can have?
2.
Yeah, 1 and 2.
Yes.
So when j is 1, we enter with j1.
Yes.
And what is num?
Num is
1.
1.
So we print 1.
1g. And then we go back.
And then do what?
Num plus 2.
Now the num is 3.
Yes.
So now where do we go? Do we go out or do we go back to the for?
We go back to the for.
Yeah, because we have to complete the range.
Yes.
And now the j is?
The j is 2.
2. We go inside.
Yes. So it's going to print out 2g.
It's going to print out?
2g.
Num is 3 now.
Oh, 3g, sorry.
Yes. And now what will happen? The num becomes?
And then now the num becomes 5.
5. So do we go back to the for loop or do we exit the for loop?
I think we exit the for loop.
Yes, because j only has a value 1 and 2. We already have executed for 1 and 2.
Yes.
So we go here.
And it creates another line.
And then?
We go back to and then it adds 1 to the I, which becomes 3.
3. So we go back
to the while
up now, and we have 3 here. So if you, mashallah, very good. This is going to be the output now. Okay, listen carefully, Once you go back, the num value becomes 1 again, okay?
So it overrides it, right?
Yes, it overrides it.
Okay.
Perfect. So what's your name, by the way?
Sohaib.
Yeah, Sohaib.
I think it's number 2, Doctor.
That's really helpful, I keep on forgetting things. I mean, there are so many things to remember. I cannot remember everything. But anyway, thank you for
Welcome.
Answer is really good, mashallah, you know.
Thank
So
you.
anyone who has a, you're welcome. Anyone who has a problem in understanding any step, they can discuss it. Okay, so that is the end of chapter number 4. Chapter on the. Okay, any question? Understood. Okay, so now let's go to the new chapter, which is chapter number 6. Okay, and that is one of my favorite chapters. Okay, I really like, and that is about functions. Guys, we have, honestly speaking, we have one more concept to learn. That is classes, chapter number 7, and after that, it's all repetition. By the way, you will start to see many repetitions now as well. But this is a new concept, the function and new concept. So let's see what functions are. Function is something that can be used to define a reusable code. So if you have a code, let me explain it through an example. Okay, like what is a function and what is the benefit of it. By the way, we already have been using the functions. We are using the function range. We are using the function print. We use the function int, eval, input. They're all functions, but they are built. They are built-in functions. They are built-in functions. Now we want to know how to write your own function. Okay, so this is the question that we have to answer now. So we already have been using many functions, but they're all built-in functions. And now we learn how to write our own function. So let's see that using an example. Suppose that you need to find the sum of integers from 1 to 10, 20 to 37, and 35 to 9. So the sum of integer from 1 to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So the sum of the integer between 1 to 10 is going to be 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus this plus this plus this is 55. So you're going to find this thing, okay? And then you want to find the sum between 20 and 37. And then you want to find the sum between 35 and 49. Okay, do you all understand the question here? Do you all understand the question that I'm asking here? Can you repeat? Do you want me to repeat? Okay, so that's the question that we need to find. We need to find the sum of an integer between 1 to 10, and then sum of an integer between 20 and 37, and the sum of an integer between 35 and 49. So one way is that we create 3 codes. We could create 3 set of codes like this, you know, one code this, one this code, and one this code. This code is summing the number from 1 to 10, and this code is summing the number from 20 to 37, and this code is summing the number from 35 to 49. Okay, so we can use this for this summation, this for this summation, and this for this summation. Okay, do you all understand that? Okay, now there's an interesting thing going on here. Look at this. All these 3 codes are very similar. They are very similar. The only difference is here. Am I right? The only difference is here. So rather than writing this code 3 times, we can make a function. Okay, and let's see how do we do it. So this is the syntax to define a function. So we have def, the function name, and the parameters. Here the parameters are these. These are the parameters. Okay, let's see how do I do it. So I'm gonna say define my. By the way, do we have time? Okay, let's continue from this example. So here I define a function. This is a function which is named my sum. Okay, now it has a starting point. It has 2 parameters, I1 and I2. Guys, I think we should not rush through because, you know, I have a few more things to show you guys. So I think I will talk more about the function in the next class. But I will show it to you. I will show it to you. What do I mean by what do I expect? So what I'm expecting is this. Then I'm replacing. Look at this. I'm replacing. Look at this. I'm replacing this code with only this thing. This code with this thing only, and this code with this thing only. So look at this. How simple. So you have replaced all this code by this code only. This is gone, and this is the new code. And look how clean it is. Okay. So this is what we're gonna do next week. We're gonna in the next class that we'll see how to write a function. Now we know what is the benefit of functions, but we need to learn how to write the function. Is it clear to you guys? Okay, so I think I'm going to stop here, and we'll talk about more about the functions in the upcoming class. If there's any question, you can ask me. Doctor, on assignment we use while loop. You can use while loop, and you can use if. You also have to, you need to use while loop, and you also need to have some conditional statements like if and else. Anything else? Okay, then I say thank you to us. Thank you to all. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum.